This is the story of a woman who lost everything. Her job, her home, her identity. She was 40 years old, sleeping in her car, with only $17 in her bank account. But then she discovered something hidden in the darkest hours of the morning. Something that billionaires, athletes, and world leaders have known for centuries. She started waking up at 4,000 a.m. And what happened in the next 100 days will make you question everything you think you know about success. This is not a fairy tale. This is a true story about what happens when desperation meets discipline. Before we go any further, I need to know something. What is your biggest struggle right now? Is it money, time, confidence? Drop it in the comments. And if this story moves you, hit that like button and subscribe, because what I'm about to share could be the turning point you've been praying for. Her name was Diana Foster. 42 years old, once a marketing manager at a mid-sized tech company, she had a corner office. Business cards with her name embossed in gold, a leather chair that cost more than most people's monthly rent. She was good at her job. No, she was excellent. She brought in clients. She built campaigns. She made her company millions. But then the economy shifted. The company downsized. And Diana, along with 37 others, was let go on a rainy Thursday afternoon in March. "We appreciate your contributions," they said. "We'll provide a reference." Just like that, 15 years, gone. At first, Diana wasn't worried. She had experience. She had a network. Oh, she had a resume that sparkled. She sent out applications. 10, then 50, then 100. Silence. A few rejection emails. Most companies didn't even respond. Weeks turned into months. Her savings drained. First, the dinners out stopped. Then, the subscriptions. Netflix, Spotify. The gym membership she never used anyway. Then the big bills hit. Rent, car payment, insurance. She couldn't keep up. By month 4, she was evicted. She packed what she could fit into her 2008 Honda Civic. The rest she left on the curb with a sign that said, "Free," 42 years old. Sleeping in her car in a Walmart parking lot. She would wait until the store closed at 11,000 p.m. Then she'd pull into the far corner, away from the lights. She'd recline her seat, cover herself with a thin blanket, and try to sleep while trucks rumbled past and security guards shined flashlights through her windows. Every night, she'd tell herself the same lie: this is temporary. But it didn't feel temporary. It felt permanent. Like this was her new reality. The worst part? It wasn't the hunger. It wasn't the cold. It wasn't the judgment in people's eyes when she washed her face in a public restroom. The worst part was the shame. Diana had always been the strong one, the successful one. The one her family bragged about at gatherings. Now, she couldn't even tell them where she was living. She'd lie on the phone. "Yeah, Mom, I'm good. Just busy with projects." Projects. That's what she called applying to jobs that never called back. She had one friend left. Jenna, her college roommate who still lived in the same city. Jenna knew the truth. She'd offered her couch, but Diana's pride wouldn't let her accept. "I'll figure it out," Diana kept saying, but she wasn't figuring it out. One October morning, after another sleepless night in her car, Diana walked to a 24-hour diner. She ordered the cheapest thing on the menu, black coffee and a single piece of toast. That meal cost her $3. She had 14 left. She sat in the corner booth, staring out the window as the sun started to rise. It was 5:47 a.m. The world was waking up. People in business suits, joggers, a woman pushing a stroller. Everyone had somewhere to go, something to do, a purpose. And Diana? She had nothing. She opened her phone and scrolled through LinkedIn. Faces of former colleagues, promotions, new jobs, success stories, her eyes filled with tears. "How did I end up here?" she whispered. Then her phone buzzed. A text from Jenna. "Di, please let me help. Come stay with me. I'm worried about you." Diana typed back, "I'm fine." But she wasn't fine, and she knew it. 3 days later, Diana's car broke down. Not just a flat tire, not just a dead battery. The engine died, completely. On the side of the highway during rush hour traffic. She sat there, hands gripping the steering wheel, as cars honked and swerved around her. This was it, rock bottom. She had no money to fix the car, no place to stay, no job, no plan. A tow truck arrived. The driver, a middle-aged man with grease-stained hands, looked at the engine and shook his head. "Transmission shot. Gonna cost at least $1,200 to fix." Diana laughed, not because it was funny, because it was absurd. $11, she said. The driver studied her face. He'd seen that look before. Defeat. Where do you want me to tow it? Look, I'll tow it to my shop. You can leave it there for a week while you figure things out. No charge for storage. Why would you do that? Because I've been where you are, he said simply, and someone helped me. He towed her car. Diana took her backpack and walked to the nearest bus stop. She had no destination. She just rode the bus in circles for hours, staring blankly out the window. As the sun set, she finally called Jenna. "Can I take you up on that offer?" Her voice cracked. "I'm on my way," Jenna said immediately. That night, Diana lay on Jenna's couch, staring at the ceiling. Jenna had made her dinner, given her clean clothes, told her she could stay as long as she needed, but Diana felt hollow. What am I going to do?" she asked Jenna. Jenna sat down beside her. "You're going to rest, then you're going to rebuild. I don't even know where to start." "Then start small," Jenna said. "Start with tomorrow." Diana didn't sleep that night. She couldn't. Her mind was racing, spiraling. At 3:45 a.m., she gave up trying. She got up, walked to the kitchen, and sat at the small table in the dark. And that's when she saw it, a book on the counter. The title, The 5am Club by Robin Sharma. Jenna must have left it there. Diana picked it up, flipped through the pages. One sentence jumped out at her. "Own your morning. Elevate your life." She read further. The book talked about waking up early, using the quiet hours before the world wakes up to build yourself, to learn, to grow, to transform. It sounded ridiculous. Waking up early wasn't going to fix her life. But then again, what did she have to lose? She made a decision right there at 4:13 a.m. starting tomorrow. I wake up at 4:30 a.m. every single day for 100 days. She didn't know what she'd do in those hours, but she'd figure it out. Day 1. The alarm went off at 4:00 a.m. Diana's body screamed at her to go back to sleep. But she got up. She splashed cold water on her face, made coffee, sat at the kitchen table in the dark. Now what? She opened her laptop. It was old and slow, but it worked. She started searching. Skills to learn for free. How to rebuild your career at 40. Online certifications. She stumbled onto a website offering free courses, marketing, data analysis, project management, coding. She clicked on digital marketing certification. For the next hour, she watched videos, took notes, completed the first module. At 5:30 a.m., her brain was tired but awake. She decided to go for a walk. The neighborhood was silent. The air was cold and crisp. The sky was starting to lighten. She walked for 30 minutes. It wasn't much, but it was something. By 6:30 a.m., she was back. She showered. Every part of her body begged for more sleep. But she remembered why she started. She got up. By day 7, Diana had completed 2 full courses. She'd walked over 20 miles. She'd started a journal where she wrote down her goals every morning. Jenna noticed the change. "You look different," she said one morning. "I feel different," Diana admitted. Days 8-14 were brutal. Diana's body was adjusting, but her mind was fighting back. Doubt crept in. What's the point? You're still unemployed. You're still broke. You're still sleeping on someone's couch. But every morning at 4:00 a.m., she showed up anyway. She finished another certification, started learning basic graphic design, read articles about entrepreneurship. She also started something new. She began reaching out to people, not to ask for a job, just to connect, to learn. She sent 20 messages on LinkedIn. "Hi, I'm Diana. I admire your work and field. Would you be open to a 15-minute call? I'd love to learn from your experience." Out of 20 messages, 3 people responded. One of them was a woman named Sandra, a creative director at a branding agency. They talked for 30 minutes. Sandra shared her journey, her struggles, her breakthrough moments. At the end of the call, Sandra said, "You know, we're not hiring right now, but I like your energy. Stay in touch." Diana thanked her and hung up. It wasn't a job, but it was a connection, and connections mattered. Day 21. 3 weeks of waking up at 4:00 a.m., Diana looked at herself in the mirror. She looked tired, but she also looked alive. Her eyes had a spark again. She completed 5 certifications. She'd walked over 60 miles. She connected with 12 professionals in her field. She wasn't successful yet, but she was building, and for the first time in months, she believed she could win. Day 34. Diana woke up at 4:00 a.m. like always, but this morning she decided to do something different. She'd been learning. Now it was time to create. She opened Canva and started designing. mock-ups for social media campaigns, brand concepts, logos. She wasn't perfect, but she was improving. By 6,000 a.m., she'd created 3 portfolio pieces. She posted them on LinkedIn with a simple caption: Day 34 of rebuilding. Here's what I'm working on. Open to feedback and opportunities. She didn't expect anything, but by noon, her post had 47 likes and 12 comments. One comment stood out. It was from Sandra, the creative director she'd spoken to. Diana, this is solid work. DME. Diana's heart raced. She sent a message immediately. Sandra replied within an hour. We have a freelance project, small budget, but it's yours if you want it. 3 social media campaigns for a new client, $800. Diana stared at the screen. $800. It wasn't life-changing money, but it was proof. Proof that she could earn again. Proof that she had value. I'll take it, Diana typed. For the next 2 weeks, Diana poured everything into that project. She woke up at 400 a.m., worked until 7,000 a.m., then spent the rest of the day refining, researching, perfecting. She delivered the campaigns 3 days early. Sandra called her the next day. Diana, the client loved your work. They want to know if you could do more. Yes, Diana said without hesitation. Good, because I also want to talk to you about something else. We're expanding. We need someone to manage freelance projects. It's contract-based to start, but it could become full-time. Are you interested? Diana couldn't speak. Tears filled her eyes. Yes, she finally whispered. Yes, I'm interested. Day 56. Diana signed her first contract. It wasn't a huge salary, but it was stable income, enough to get her own place, enough to fix her car, enough to breathe again. She moved out of Jenna's apartment and into a small studio. It wasn't fancy, but it was hers. On her first night in her new place, she sat on the floor and cried, not from sadness, from relief, from gratitude. She texted Jenna, "Thank you for believing in me when I didn't believe in myself." Jenna replied, "You did this, not me. I'm proud of you." But Diana didn't stop waking up at 4,000 a.m. She kept learning, kept creating, kept connecting. By day 75, she'd completed 12 certifications, built a portfolio of 20 pieces, connected with over 50 professionals. Her reputation was growing. Clients started reaching out to her directly. Day 100. Diana woke up at 4 a.m. for the 100th time. She sat at her desk, looked out the window at the dark sky, and smiled. 3 months ago, she was homeless, hopeless, broken. Now, she had a job, a home, a future. She opened her journal and wrote, Day 100. I am not the same person who started this journey. I am stronger, wiser, more grateful. The 400 a.m. hour didn't give me success. It gave me discipline, and discipline gave me everything else. 6 months after day 1, Diana was offered a full-time position as creative strategy lead at Sandra's agency. 1 year later, she launched her own consulting business. 2 years later, she was financially free. But the most important thing, she never stopped waking up at 4,000 a.m. because it wasn't about the hour. It was about the commitment, the discipline, the choice to show up for herself when no one else was watching. Now, let me ask you something. What if Diana had hit snooze on day 1? What if she'd given up on day 7 or day 21? She'd still be stuck, still lost, still waiting for someone to save her. But she didn't wait. She woke up, and she built her way out. Here's the truth most people don't want to hear. Your life will not change by accident. It will not change because you wish it would. It will not change because you deserve it. Your life will change when you change. And change begins in the darkest, quietest hours, when the world is still asleep, when no one is watching, when it's just you and your decision to show up. So let me give you the same challenge Diana gave herself. 100 days, 4,000 a.m. every single day, not 5,000 a.m. every single day, not 6,000 a.m. every 1,000 a.m., 4,000 a.m. there. Why 4,000? Because it's hard, because it requires sacrifice, because most people won't do it. And that's exactly why it works. Here's your roadmap. Hour 1, 4,005 a.m. Yem, build a skill. Choose one skill that will change your financial reality. Not 3 skills, not 5. 1, maybe it's coding. Maybe it's copywriting. Maybe it's video editing, maybe it's sales. Find free resources, YouTube, Coursera, Udemy. Spend 1 full hour learning, no distractions, no phone, just you and growth. Hour 2, 5-6 through DMM, build your body and mind. 30 minutes, move your body, walk, run, stretch, lift, dance, whatever makes you feel alive. 30 minutes, feed your mind. Read, journal, plan your day, meditate. This hour is non-negotiable. Your body is your vehicle. Your mind is your compass. Both need maintenance. The 3 rules. Rule 1, no negotiation. You wake up at 4000 am every day. Even weekends, even holidays, even when you're tired. Discipline doesn't take days off. Rule 2, sleep by 9000 p.m. You cannot cheat sleep and win. Your body needs 7 hours. Protect your rest like your life depends on it, because it does. Rule 3, the first 14 days will be hell. Your body will rebel. Your mind will create excuses. Push through. By day 21, it becomes routine. By day 100, it becomes identity. If you're still watching this, it means something inside you knows you're meant for more. Maybe you're in your car right now. Maybe you're in a job you hate. Maybe you're stuck and don't know how to move forward. This is your sign. Diana had nothing. She rebuilt her entire life in 100 days by waking up at 4000 a.m. and refusing to quit. You have more than she had. You have access to this video. You have the internet. You have time. The only question is, will you use it? Here's what I want you to do right now. Step 1, hit that like button as your commitment. That's your contract with yourself. Step 2, comment below, 4 am starts tomorrow, and tell me what skill you're going to build in your first hour. I'll be reading every single comment. Let's hold each other accountable. Step 3, set your alarm for 4000 am right now, not later, right now. Step 4, share this video with someone who's stuck, someone who's struggling, someone who needs to see that change is possible. Step 5, subscribe to this channel. Every week, I bring you real stories of real people who transformed their lives, and I show you exactly how they did it. Diana's life changed because she made a choice at 4:13 a.m. in a dark kitchen. Your life can change too, but it starts tomorrow. At 400 a.m., will you be awake? Your future self is waiting. Don't let them down.